welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to talk about jetting. This is obviously a Beta 300 RR Racing 2023, brand new. It came into me because it was a bit sluggish off the bottom end. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the carb off. We're going to have a look at the jetting and probably rejet it. So yeah, let's go.
Oh, you alright?
Right, so the first things we need to do once we've got the carb off the bike is undo this bottom bowl nut. Now, once you've got the carburetor off, if you tip it upside down, it will drain the bowl. Now, if you don't do that and you whip this nut off, then you'll have fuel still inside the bowl, which will then obviously drain out and go everywhere. So try and drain the carb off prior to undoing that nut. Then what we need to do is we need to undo the main jet. That's a 6mm, and that's basically just taken out like that. And then next to the main jet is the pilot jet, which is removed with a screwdriver, like so. Right, now we've got the jets out. The needle is pretty straightforward as well. That's a 6mm nut. We just undo the nut. That drops out, and so does the needle, and that's the needle. Now, looking at the needle and that, we're running an N2ZW on position 3. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. That's okay. That's not a bad setting. As far as the jetting goes, our pilot jet is 38 and our main jet is 165. Now, that's probably why we're having a problem on bottom end. A 38 is to me is too low, especially this time of year with the humidity and everything. We need to be running a bigger pilot than that. That probably tells me why he's having problems on the bottom end, because your bottom 3/4 throttle comes off the pilot jet. So if we're getting any issues there, 9 times out of 10, it's this jet here. Now, that definitely needs to be changed. The main jet, again, I think is a bit low. 165, probably gonna have to go up on that, or we will go up on that. So I'm gonna rejet it with bigger jets. Now, obviously, refitting the jets is again straightforward. The main jet is just screwed back in to the bottom. Obviously, take your time when you screw them in. Don't cross thread it. Once it's in, just a slight nip, and then we get our pilot, drop it in, and there, just with the screwdriver, just nip that up. Again, don't overdo it, just a nice little nip. Then we just fit our nut, and also again, nothing daft, just a little nip, and that's the jetting changed. As far as the needle goes, like I say, we're not going to mess about with the needle. We're going to keep the needle the same, and the needle position, and then that's a case of obviously just refitting, rescrewing the nut back in. Again, just take your time, don't cross thread it, and nip that up. That is basically it. I will now fit obviously the carb, run the bike up and see obviously where we are with it. As far as the air screw goes, this here is our air screw. Now most of these carbs I set them up to usually 1 turn. Now this is standard, so let's see where this is. So that's standard at about 2 turns. To me, that's a bit much. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put it at 1 turn now, and then obviously once it's fitted, if I do need to adjust it a little bit, then obviously I'll adjust it with the tick over and obviously the response, and we'll go from there. But yeah, guys, that's it. That's basically how you would change the jet in a carburetor. Pretty straightforward. Anybody could really do it as long as you take your time. And that, like I say, that will just be put back on the bike now, run up, and maybe a slight couple of little tweaks. So yeah, hope this helped. Don't forget, obviously, give us a like and a subscribe.